Hello and welcome to Shining Waters Yoga. This class is going to focus on the three-part breath with AUM Pranava, or the sacred sound, the cosmic sound of Om, adding that with the breath. This is going to be an introduction to this practice. I'll be teaching it more in depth in a workshop that I'm offering in October. So if you're interested in that, please contact me at cheryl.sidwell@gmail.com, and I'll put that also in the comments. So three-part breath. Oftentimes, if you've ever taken a yoga class, you may be familiar with the three-part breath. Certainly, if you've taken one of my yoga classes, this is usually where we start. And even before that, we start with an even breath, sometimes referred to as Samavritti, where the length of our inhalation is the same length as our exhalation, and we work to find that even breath, Samavritti, also sometimes referred to as the Sukha Purvaka Pranayam, or the easy breath. This is the easy breath where we start. So we want to sort of even out our inhalation and our exhalation before we start layering other things on top of that. I'm going to move back and take a seat. We'll be using some mudras today as well. I invite you to take a comfortable seat. You do not have to sit cross-legged. You might want to sit on a chair like the chair I have behind me. I'm sitting up on the edge of a blanket. You could use a meditation cushion if that's comfortable for you. You could also sit in the Vajrasana. Oftentimes we like to teach pranayama from this position because it really helps you to have a long spine and not round into your lower back. Sometimes when we sit in the Sukhasana, we still kind of round in. So we want to sit up nice and tall and find that tall seat. And then lengthening up through your spine, relaxing your shoulders. Feel for an openness in the chest so that we're not slumping, we're not rounding or caving in. Find that nice open chest, lifted spine. Once you've settled into a comfortable seat, begin to notice your breath. And I should say that this practice is accessible to anyone, but if you are dealing with some breathing challenges, whether you from long-term COVID or COPD, severe asthma, things like this, I would really recommend that you work with a yoga therapist because we can help you. A practice like this might be a little more challenging to you to begin with, but a yoga therapist can help you to start where you are and will help you to increase your respiratory capacity and find a more easeful breath. So that being said, starting where you are, and just noticing the length of your inhalation and the length of your exhalation. Now we usually work up to a 6 count, and I'll come back to that later and explain why, but assuming that you're new to this practice, I'm going to start with a 4 count where we breathe in, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Continue to practice on your own, just getting used to that rhythm of breath. And notice if it's challenging for you. Finding the Samavritti, or the even breath. I'm going to continue to talk while you're practicing that. So when we talk about the 3-part breath, some people call it the Dirga Pranayam. You may have heard it referred to as Dirga Pranayam or Mahat Pranayam, the complete breath. You may have also heard Vibhaga Breath. Vibhaga refers to sectional breathing. So we're going to break the breath into 3 sections. Since our lungs, particularly the right lung, has 3 sections or 3 lobes, low, middle, and high. When we're teaching this, we often talk about the belly, the ribs, and the chest. Now, of course, we don't really breathe into our belly as an organ. We're breathing into the lungs, the lowest part of the lungs. And as we expand the lungs, our diaphragm contracts and pushes down onto the belly. And therefore, we feel sensation in our belly. Now, don't worry if you don't feel that. Some of us who are more chest breathers might have difficulty feeling that sensation of the belly moving. But that's what we're going towards. And again, this is something that we can work with you one-on-one to find that belly breath, breathing into that lowest part. So that's where we're going to start. We're going to breathe into the lowest part of the lungs, and we're going to use a mudra to help us with that, chin mudra. So you're going to touch your index fingers, the tip of your index fingers to the tips of your thumbs. The other 3 fingers are extended and they're together, so not apart, but together. And then you're going to place them down in your lap. So however you're sitting, placing your hands face down, not up, that's a different mudra. And then wherever you are in your breathing cycle, breathe out. And then we're going to focus on the lowest part of the lungs. So the bottom part of your lungs, and just kind of notice if the mudra helps you to find that. You're also welcome to close your eyes or keep them open, whatever's comfortable for you. If it helps you to limit distractions, then by all means close your eyes. And start to notice your breath. See if you can become aware of breathing into the lowest part of your lungs. So let's start again with that out breath. Breathe out. And then breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. One more time. Breathing in. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Now you can continue. I'm going to start talking again. But feeling that, notice if you can feel it, if the mudra helps you to feel the breath all the way down into the lower part of your lungs. Maybe you can feel your belly rising and falling. If you have trouble feeling it, you could also place the hands on your belly and see if that's more helpful for you. So we're going to breathe into each section of the lungs for at least 3 breaths. We've taken many more than 3 so far. To give us a chance to get used to it, to settle in, to feel the breath. Now, we're going to move up to the middle section of our lungs. So thinking about the lower ribs here, you could place your hands on your ribs or you can use another mudra. So we're going to move from Chin Mudra to Chin Maya. Keeping the index finger touching the thumbs, you're just going to curl the other 3 fingers into your hands and place the hands down in your lap. And then breathe out. Breathing into the ribs. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. See if you can feel your breath moving up now, a little bit more aware of the breath in the rib cage or in the middle part of your lungs. Take one more breath here. Or wherever you are in your cycle, breathing out. Go ahead and complete your cycle. And then we're going to move our awareness to the upper part of the lungs. So for this one, we're going to use Adi Mudra, wrapping the 4 fingers around the thumbs. So you kind of tuck your thumbs in wrap the fingers around like a loose fist, not tight. So notice if you're grasping or gripping, and soften the hands. Again, relax the palms face down in your lap. Soften your shoulders. Become aware of your breath. We're going to breathe out first. And then breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Continue on your own. See if you can feel the breath in the upper part of your lungs. And if it's difficult to feel this one, you could also place the hands just gently at the top of your chest. Some people also place the hands on the tops of their shoulders. I find this to be a little bit, I feel like it sort of compromises the openness of the chest for me. So I'd rather place the hands here or just use the Adi Mudra. Take one more breath wherever you are in your cycle. Making sure you complete your cycle, the out breath. And then let that go. We're gonna focus on all 3 parts, putting it all together. So that's technically what we just did, is the Vibhaga Pranayam, sectional breathing, finding the lowest part, the middle part, and the upper part. And if you didn't feel that, that's okay. This is a practice. It takes some time. So we're gonna put it all together, and this is just a brief introduction to it. And we're going to come into Brahma Mudra. So just like with Adi Mudra, wrapping the fingers around the thumbs, but now we're going to place the backs of your knuckles together. So the palms are face up, and then relax the shoulders down, because it's easy to do this kind of like a gorilla or something, right? So we want to relax the shoulders, make sure the chest is still open. And you can see that we've kind of made this sort of frame for the lungs. And Brahma Mudra helps to facilitate the Mahat Pranayama, the complete breath. So take a moment to settle. Breathe out. And then one more thing I almost forgot to mention. This is where, if you can extend your breath to the 6-part breath, it's really helpful. Why? Because 6 is divisible by 3. So it's a 3-part breath. And if you're able to breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can use the landmark of your lungs from low to middle to high to, and you've got a 6 count, if that makes sense. So if you can do a 6 count, or you want to try it, I encourage you to breathe for a 6 count. Let's see what we can do. And if not, it's something to work up to. So relaxing again, your shoulders, your arms, become present with your breath. Breathe out. And then breathe in to the belly, to ribs, to chest, to breathe out from the belly, to ribs, to chest, to. Now I'm going to count it as a 6 count. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Continue on your own for a couple more rounds. Noticing your pace of breath. If you're still doing a 4 count, that's okay. Stay where you are. Again, this is a practice. Be curious about it. Notice what you can do. It shouldn't feel forced. We're slowly learning to lengthen the breath and fully use our lungs, right? All the parts of our lungs. And we can break this down even further, breathing into the different sides of the lungs, the front, the middle, the back, or the front, the side, the back. Not doing all of that today. I just want to introduce you to this practice. And then I said we were going to do the AUM Pranava. So we're going to add now, we're going to go back to the sections and we're going to add the AUM, breaking it down into A, O, and for the 3 parts, and then we're going to put it all together. As we start to chant the mantra, our exhalation is going to become longer. And if you can, again, once you learn the full practice, we breathe in for a 6 count, and then we breathe out for 12. We're going to lengthen that exhalation to double. Now, if you're only doing a 4 count, try to breathe out for 8 counts if you can. I'm going to go ahead and do it on the 6 count. That might feel like a lot right now, so please breathe at your own pace. But just so you have an idea, a goal to reach for, an idea of what it feels like. So I'm going to keep the, we're going to start with the lowest part of the lungs. So we're going to come back to chin mudra, touching the index finger to the thumb, the other 3 fingers extended and the palms down. And we're going to breathe into the lowest part of the lungs, and we're going to exhale with the sound ah. So breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Pause. So we'll move to the second part of the lungs. I counted it once for you. It's very difficult for me to talk, count, and also breathe correctly because when I'm talking, I'm letting oxygen out. So I will count it the first time, and then we'll do it 2 times without me counting for the middle part, the ribs. So we're going to take Chinmaya Mudra, touching index finger to the thumbs, other 3 fingers curled under, focusing awareness on your rib cage or the middle ribs, middle part of the lungs. Breathe out first, clearing the lungs. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out. Oh. Breathe in. Breathe in. Breathe out. Release it. Now we're going to focus on the upper third, the top part of the lungs. Coming back to Adi Mudra, wrapping the fingers around the thumbs, just placing palms down for this one. So again, we'll breathe in a 6 count. We'll exhale, trying to double that length, the 12 counts. I can't count and also do the mantra, so I'm just counting it internally, but I'm counting a 12 count. And this one, the syllable is right? So we did the ah, the o, and the So when you're ready, first we'll breathe out. Breathing in. Breathe out. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Release it. So guess what? Now we're going to put all 3 of those together. We're going to come back to the Brahma Mudra. Remember, it's just like Adi, but we're going to turn the palms up back so the hands kind of touch, and then rest them in your lap. Don't create tension up here, so relax your shoulders, your arms. Double check, make sure your shirt's still sitting up straight. If you're sitting cross-legged, you might want to switch the cross of your legs. You've been sitting for a little bit now. Usually I'll do this Vajrasana. I just chose Sukhasana today for whatever reason. So making sure that you are sitting nice and tall. And you might start to notice in all of these, this is a practice of mindfulness. So you may have noticed if it was easier to breathe into your belly or into your chest, if you felt one more than the other. If you've never done a 6 count breath, this might have been challenging, or maybe not. So just kind of noticing, becoming aware of that. So we'll put it all together. Again, I'm going to breathe in a 6 count and breathe out for about a 12 count as best I can while articulating this to you. And we're going to put the sound together. So we're going to do the AUM. And again, because there's 3 syllables to the sound, it'll be 4 counts for each, if that makes sense. As we exhale, it'll be 4 counts for the lowest part of the lungs, 4 counts for the middle, 4 counts for the upper part. So, Brahma Mudra. Relax the shoulders, sitting up nice and tall. Breathe out. And then we'll breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out. Release. Breathe in. Breathe out. Once more. Let it go, release it. You can stretch your fingers out. We're going to do it one more time together, or the one more round of three more times. What did I want to say about that? So we'll do 3 more rounds of the putting it together. So we're breathing in low, 2, middle, 2, upper lungs, 2. So that's our 6 count in, breathing in from low to high. And we're breathing out from low to high, but it's 4 counts in each section. So it's 4, 8, 12, if that makes sense. So when you're ready, we'll take the Brahma Mudra again. And just notice if you can feel it. It's a good way to learn the breath, to become aware of just kind of envisioning or sensing or feeling your breath fill your lungs from low to high, and then breathe out low to high. So breathe out. And then breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last one, breathe in. Breathe out. Let it go and sit in silence. Notice the effects of the practice. Notice how you feel. Notice how your breath is. So practicing this for several rounds, you can let go of your mudra. You might want to shake out your hands. Practicing this for several rounds. You might want to shake out your legs as well. Feel free to do that. Can help you start to be able to more easily breathe in with that 6 count if that was difficult for you. This is a really nice way to begin your practice in the morning, tuning into that cosmic sound, the sound of Om, and then sitting and pausing. When you complete the practice, you could do the 3 rounds of each section and then 3 rounds putting it together. You could do 6 rounds. Whatever feels right for you. Usually it's some multiple of 3, maybe 9 rounds, 12 rounds, depending on your time in the morning. It's a beautiful practice to do in the morning. Of course, you could do it at any time of day. It might also ease the mind before bed. Although I will say that in general, as we're doing these more deeper breathing practices, it could energize you a little bit. So probably a little bit better to do it in the morning or in the afternoon if you're feeling sleepy and you need a break or if you need to stay alert. So hope you enjoyed that. I'll be teaching it more in depth in my workshop on advanced pranayam with mudra, bandha, and kriya. So we did that with mudras, the hand mudras, and mantra as well. So with the Om mantra. And I'll be giving more information. So we could break this down even more, but just to give you a little taste of it and maybe something to try out to practice on your own. Thank you so much. Please contact me if you have questions about it or you'd like more information about the workshop. It's also my webpage at shiningwatersyoga.com. Thank you so much.